Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to Sound Bath Sundays. Whew, how are you? How have these past 7 days been for you? Now, I know that so many of us have been going through the roller coaster of emotions. There are several reasons for this happening. And I'm someone who always likes to find the why. I probably was the very annoying kid that kept asking, why, but why, but why, but why? And everybody told me to be quiet. I know it happened to me during all of my schooling when I kept asking teachers to explain to me the reasoning behind. I kept doing this to my parents. I didn't know how to explain that. If you just tell me why this is happening or why you're making this decision, then I can understand it and I can align with you and agree with you most likely. But I never like to be told to do things just from imposition, just that because I said so. And frankly, when I had my baby, I think I went the other way with my kid because I was like, I will never do that. And I would ask her about everything. Would you like this or this for lunch? And I gave her options. And throughout this experience, because of this experience, I've learned that we don't all like the same things. My dad always tells me this saying in Spanish, and it says in Spanish, todos creen que el león cree que todos son de su condición, something like that. My dad's on, so he might be able to correct me. But meaning the lion believes that everyone's a lion, right? Everyone thinks that way. We all think that everybody thinks like us, feels like us. That is why when we are looking for our gifts, hey, Stacia, welcome. When we're looking for our gifts, we usually can't see them because it's those things that come so easily to us. And everybody else is around you going like, how the heck does she do that? How the heck does he do that? Right? And meanwhile, you're going like this. Oh, I can do that in my sleep. And you don't think that that is one of your gifts. So note that one. But anyway, I did my best to raise my kid the way I would have wanted to be raised. And it turns out it probably was not the best way. I think, you know how they say that that kids skip a generation? And I believe that my daughter would have been better served with the way that my mom raised me. And because I was so reluctant and so reactive to that way, I just went and did, whatever I would have liked. And it's like, okay, give me options. But then again, when I'm presented with a ton of options, I just go like, oh, I don't know what to decide. I don't like to decide. And I just thought that giving my daughter, since she was a year and a half, choices was kind of the best thing. The jury's still out. I think it was, it could have been done differently. But, when you're going through the situation, you can't really see it from the inside, right? Where I was talking last week about seeing the bark, or a couple of weeks before. We see the bark. We can't see the forest. And it's only when time has gone by that you're able to look back. And that's why they say, hindsight is, I'm not going to say the number because it'll flag my video because they'll think I'm talking about something else. But this year, hindsight is, and that's why, because when you're looking at things from in reverse, as a friend would say, things look very, very differently. And so I've been myself going through a lot of the roller coaster of the emotions. I am, if you're familiar with human design, I am like this much familiar with human design, which is maybe like a grain of sand. But I do know that I am an emotional authority person, which made all the sense in the world when I heard that I was an emotional authority, because my entire life I've been called drama queen, emotional, and all these things. And I found out very late in life that emotions are, I was going to say were, but are my superpower. We all have a superpower, right? And the last thing I wanted to have as my superpower were emotions, because I've been hijacked by my emotional body plenty of times. And it's not that the emotion is my superpower. I found it is that as I learn to manage my emotions, as I learn to direct them, as I learn to harness the power of the emotion, I can literally create a ton of stuff. But when the emotions are just running loose all over the place, they can take you down. And so, me being me, I start researching, right? And I've been talking for months about the fact that there are so many energies coming into the planet right now, meant to help us in our evolution as human beings. Now, here's the thing. A lot of what's going on right now is as if somebody went to a river, a very powerful being, and looked at this river with very clear water and realized that there's a lot of gunk and mud at the bottom. There's a swamp, right? And went like this and went like that and started messing everything up and bringing all that mud to the surface. And that is exactly what is happening. And that mud is the equivalent of our patterns. These patterns of behavior, of challenges, everything that has been showing up in our lives that has been meant to be clear, that we haven't even recognized as a pattern. Right now, we have that opportunity to see, oh my gosh, this thing just keeps showing up. It may just be a different face, but the situation is exactly the same. The consequences are exactly the same. I find myself feeling the same way. It could show up in different ways. It doesn't have to necessarily be like, okay, I have same boyfriend, different face, same job, different face, same boss, different face. No, it could be a boyfriend, a job, something that happens with you on the street, and an interaction with someone on that this random person, or you think it's random, somebody cutting you off in traffic. I mean, it could be anything. And it may just mean that every time some situation of this kind shows up, it doesn't have to even be the same type. How do you feel in your body? How does it feel? Do you feel your anger coming up? Do you feel sadness coming up? Do you feel worry, angst? What emotion is coming up for you? And can you notice if you've got yourself into a pattern? Now, these patterns are meant to be released so that we can go to the next phase of our evolution. But here's the thing. Sometimes we don't notice them. Sometimes we don't know how to let go of the patterns. And a lot of these come from our lineage. They're not even our patterns. Just as when we come into this life, we just accept certain things as law, as truth, as right, wrong, good or bad, and they are not necessarily what we believe them to be, because we're looking at the situations from the lenses of our lineage, right? It could be that we're looking at things from the point of view of our great grandparent, and we don't even know it. But we're born into it, we accept it as such, and then we live our lives based upon these beliefs that have been handed down to us generation after generation. Well, this is a time when we are able to literally make a different choice. And the beauty of it is that when we release these patterns, hi Inez, welcome. When we release these patterns, we not only set ourselves free, but we set everybody that came before us free, and everyone that's going to come after us free as well. We liberate them from that particular pattern. And these beliefs are pretty much the same as the invisible, that glass ceiling that people talk about, right? When you're like getting to a job and you can't get past that level, or when you have certain earnings and you can't get past that income, because every time you just go, it's like you're hitting a glass ceiling that you cannot see. And it's exactly the same thing that happens with beliefs. We're like living our life, and then it's like we think this is right or wrong. And the thing is that when we have right or good things, beliefs about things that we think, oh, this is the right thing to do, the good thing to do, we hold on to them for dear life. And it becomes very, very difficult to adopt a different point of view, because that would mean we would have to let go of our beliefs. And we become so identified with these beliefs that we begin to feel as if the beliefs are us. So imagine we have a nervous system, and we have it's two branches of a nervous system, right? And one of it is the nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system. It's a fight, flight, or freeze. It's the primitive brain. It is ruled by our I think it's called the cerebellum. I don't know. It's the root, like the root of our brain, like at the bottom of our brain, right? And that's our primitive brain. And then we have the parasympathetic nervous system that rules the peaceful clarity, intelligence that is contained in our prefrontal cortex. So the front of our brain is what holds all of our information. And see, when the sympathetic nervous system is activated, there's a cocktail of hormones that begins to run through our bloodstream. And that creates this feeling of, it could be like it's the same as excitement, but it's the fear. And it's exactly the same cocktail, but when these hormones start to rush through our body's in a state of, okay, what do I have to do? What action do I have to get in to get myself out of trouble, to keep myself safe and alive? Basically, it's a system that is designed to perfection to keep us safe and well. And then there's a parasympathetic nervous system. When we're relaxed, we're calm, we can get clarity, we can be intelligent, we can do a bunch of stuff, we can get creative. But when we have the sympathetic nervous system activated, we are in what I call stupid safe mode. And all our brain wants to do is keep us safe. Now, when we are in that mode, we cannot relax. We cannot feel safe. We cannot get creative, and we cannot have a different reality. So when we have a belief that is attached to our emotion, when these emotions get triggered, we feel like we are in danger. Our life is in danger. And so our body, our mind, everything starts to be on the alert because we want to stay safe and we want to stay alive, right? So if there's a belief that we have, that we were born into, that's just like literally encoded in our DNA, and it gets challenged, and we think it's so good and we're holding on to it. If there's anything challenging that belief, we're so afraid to let it go because it could mean death. It could mean our demise. And that is why the self-development gurus out there can make so much money off of us, because it's a constant struggle with them trying to have us peons or students let go of these beliefs, right? That's why they're always, have you ever been asked, if you've been in the self-development world, do your coaches ask you, are you coachable? Are you coachable? Yeah. Because it means that you are at least willing to let go of any belief, concept, or idea that you may be holding on and accept a new belief or a new idea that will then be converted in a new belief. Does that make sense? Basically, it's all physiological. Basically, it's all dictated by the hormones that are running in your body and by our brain, our primitive brain, or our intelligent brain that I call. It doesn't necessarily need to be that way. That primitive brain is very intelligent because it's trying to keep us alive. And but it's all based on hormones and our physiology. And so when we become open to at least receiving or looking at things from a different point of view, everything can change. And the things that trip us up the most are the beliefs that we think are right or good. Because the ones that we think are bad or wrong, we keep fighting them, right? We keep trying to get rid of them. And they keep coming back, and you keep fighting them, and they keep coming back, because what you resist persists. And the more you fight to get rid of these things, the stronger they get. So you're giving them a fight. You're giving them a reason to get stronger. Then you have to get stronger. Then it gets stronger. And we spend our life going like in this battle of, strength and wit and endurance with all the things that we think that are so bad about ourselves, which some of us have a list that could run for miles. And we keep trying to get rid of all those things that we judge, or we have a belief that they're bad or wrong. But the things that we're thinking they're good and right, we're just like, oh my gosh, right? Like people have certain beliefs, and this situation is what's going on right now that has us so polarized, because people take advantage of that situation and keep trying to have people more divided. And the people who believe this one thing are like holding on to that belief, and people who believe this one thing are holding on to this belief, and they are not able to see that there could be different possibilities, infinite possibilities, and that these people might be not so mistaken, and that these people might be not so mistaken, and there could be a totally different new world being born when we just let go of the concepts that we hold on so tightly to. Now, what happens with that when that is going on? When people are holding on to their beliefs, that's how wars get started. That's how division gets started. And when very sensitive people get caught in the middle, or get caught on one side or the other, and start receiving all the angst, because we are antennas, we're human antennas. A lot of what we're experiencing is not ours, just like our beliefs. We're antennas. We're picking up all the angst that's out there in the collective unconscious, and we're taking it on as if it's our own. And it starts to create a lot of dis-ease. meaning you start losing the ease in your life. We start getting out of the flow of abundance, alignment, being connected to God, and we start going into the fear. And then what happens is we take it on, we believe it's ours, and then we create more of it, and we keep pouring it back into the collective unconscious for other people to pick up. And we're feeding this pot. So what would be the best thing is for us to starve that pot, right? To stop giving it more ammunition or feeding the fire. And the way to do that is by connecting to our true selves and literally making a conscious decision to unplug from that collective unconscious. There's a tool, excuse me, there's a tool from Access Consciousness that I love that will immediately tell you whether what you're experiencing is yours or not. And it's called, Who Does This Belong To? And when we just ask that question, if the emotions or the feeling or whatever the idea, the concept is really ours, we can feel it, the heaviness. It stays kind of heavy. But when it isn't, it just immediately leaves our awareness. It's like, no, that's not mine. And it just goes poof and goes away. And you'll feel a feeling of lightness. You can feel something literally going off of your body. You'll feel the weight lifting. Some people report feeling very, very light. It's a pretty amazing tool. So all you have to do is ask, who does this belong to? And you will know if you connect. Now, some of us have been ignoring that still small voice for so many years that it's so soft. But as we practice listening to our intuition, it's like a muscle. We'll start building that relationship all over again with our gut feeling, with our knowing that it will talk to us. And when it talks to you, you know that is your truth. And there's nothing that, there's zero doubt about it. So you're able to take action based upon your internal guidance and know that it will always take you in the correct path for you. And see, here's the thing. A lot of the times when we do that, we feel like, oh my God, this is so selfish. And it isn't. It's actually like my mom was telling me today, it's like, I'm going to give you the advice of the airplane. Put your mask on first. And it's exactly what it is. This is putting your mask on first, and then you're able to help others. But the incredible thing is that, hey, Julia, the incredible thing is that you don't even have to do anything when you take care of yourself. As you take care of yourself, it changes who you are being. And that alone can create an effect change to everyone around you. So if you're going around feeling peaceful instead of all stressed out, you literally become an antenna that is projecting out peace vibes. If you're in stress, if you're depressed, you're going around sending those feelings out, but mostly feeling horrible yourself. And so we don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, because I know people are like, oh my God, they feel guilty because now it's like, oh my God, I didn't know that my feeling like this is contributing. And now they feel horrible because they feel like they're not only feeling bad themselves, but they're contributing to other people feeling bad. You're not. It's a choice. We all have to learn, and we all have a path, and we all hire each other to play certain roles. And right now, I feel like it's they're like the universe is handing out deals. Do you like to get a deal? I love getting a deal. And it's sending out deals. It's like, well, do you want to let go of this? You can do it. You can do it for really, for cheap. You don't have to make a lot of effort. You just have to choose it and allow us to just work through you and let go of the stuff that no longer serves you. New technologies are coming in. Technologies that have been here available for all of us are now being used and put into place and shared with people. This little thing is one example, right? It uses Tesla technology. Nikola Tesla has talked about this for so long. And he said, right, if you think of in terms of, I can't remember the quote, but frequency, vibration, just sound healing, right? You can find the secrets of the universe. You can find about the sacred geometry. You can find about the origins of life and free energy and everything that he talked about. He was like a total genius. And it wasn't that I don't believe that he was any different than any of us. He had a really strong two-way connection with God, right? And he learned to just be still and listen and get the downloads and know and get information and do the experiments and go, oh my gosh, he had so many secrets. And he got, he got ostracized, his stuff got stolen. Humanity or certain people thought he was a threat because they thought, and this is the old paradigm, right? That if he gave away the energy for free, then people wouldn't be able to earn money. And that is so old paradigm, because the more we understand that the more we give, the more we receive. If those people knew that then, they would have supported him. They would have rallied around him. They would have given the energy for free, and we would literally be living in a totally different reality right now. But he died with his stuff being stolen, and he, it was not I don't believe that it was a happy ending for him. But now all of his technology is coming out and being put to good use, and magic is, or what seems to be like magic, is showing up in our lives, like sound healing, right? Oh my gosh, my journey with sound has been so amazing, and all I want to do is share it with you guys, because even when we're feeling down at our lowest point, sometimes we all contracted that before we even came here. But also, just imagine with me for a moment that we're in a pool, right? And we can't swim. And we're right in the middle of it, and we're drowning. And we're not going up or down. We're right in the middle. We're just drowning until when we go down and hit the bottom, we can push ourselves with our feet, right? And push ourselves upward and come out. So sometimes hitting rock bottom is the best thing that can happen to us, because it's the quickest way out if we so desire. So when you're feeling like you're hitting rock bottom, be grateful. Be grateful that you're not just wallowing or drowning right in the middle without being able to lean onto anything or push yourself anywhere. You're just there trying, you're trying to go up. You don't know what way is up, what way is down. You kind of just linger there. And that just takes longer, and it's a lot more painful. When we hit rock bottom, boom, we can push ourselves right back up and come out of whatever funk we are in. So today, if you are experiencing depression, anxiety, angst, worry, if you're worried about money, if you're worried about a job, if you're worried about anything, I invite you just for today, to take all of that worry, that angst, and put it in a bag and leave it outside your door. Imagine that is garbage, and you're putting it out for the garbage truck to pick it up, which means do not swim in it. Do not wallow in it. Do not analyze every piece of garbage to see if you should keep it or should not. Put it in the bag, seal it up, and leave it outside. Okay? As you do that, allow yourself through this sound healing meditation that we're going to have right now, allow yourself to connect with the deepest part of yourself. That part of you that is absolute love, absolute peace, absolute silence. And give yourself the instruction to be still. All you have to do is be still, and that is a promise from God. Be still and know. And then make a commitment to, you don't have to try and feel good and joyful, because sometimes we just can't make that leap, right? From feeling awful to, oh yeah, I'm going to feel good today. That's just not possible for some of us sometimes. But when we just say, admit and look at our situation and just say, yes, I am sad today. I am so sad. I am really sad today. And then instead of calling it right, wrong, good or bad, or try to fight it or try to hold on to it, or have, sometimes some people have a payoff. They get a payoff from being sad. When people are like, oh, poor thing, they get attention. It doesn't necessarily have to be all bad. But when we make a choice to not give it any label and just accept where we are, just watch it, observe it, don't align with it, don't take it on, and just see, yeah, I'm angry. I'm really, really, really angry. It may mean you have to go in a closet and start screaming your lungs out and just like scream your heart out until you're so tired of screaming and that all that energy has come out of you. Because we also have a thing that we're not even supposed to be angry, right? There's so many things that we're not supposed to be. We're not supposed to be sad. We're not supposed to be this. We're definitely not supposed to be angry. So we start suppressing all these emotions, and eventually, you get poked a little bit, and it's like a geyser, right? You get poked with something stupid or seemingly stupid or inconsequential, and your anger is going to come out in the weirdest ways. And it may be because you've been holding on to this anger for so long. The anger is like, please let me out. I'm going to explode. And so it explodes, but then it explodes and you're like, oh, let me plug that hole. I can't be angry because, oh my God, it's so bad and people are going to judge me and whatever, right? And that is how we all get in trouble, because with the slightest provocation, sometimes we'll say stuff that we didn't mean, we'll react the way we didn't want to, and we're just holding on to this thing that is literally slowly killing us, because it gets lodged into our cells, lodged into our programming, like into our DNA. It gets imprinted. And then we get into a habit. We get into a loop. And no matter what they say, okay, our go-to emotion, like if I'm angry all the time, my go-to emotion might be anger. My go-to emotion might be sadness. My go-to emotion might be despair. What is your go-to emotion? All right. So start observing and notice if there's a pattern, and then make a choice. You may not be able to release it in one go. Maybe just observing it will allow you to go, oh my God, that's my pattern. I can let it go now. It happens all the time. And maybe it's just like, oh, wow, what a pattern. I see that I keep getting angry. And so when the triggers come, you'll be able to get a little bit of separation, enough that will allow you to make a different choice and start breaking the loops, getting out of that loop and saying, oh, I'm not going to react that way. How can I respond differently? Maybe I'll just go in my closet, scream my lungs out, and then come out and go like, okay, I'm calm now. Or whatever it is, your choice, right? You can punch a pillow. Some people I know, like a lot of exercises, like just punching a pillow or grabbing a pillow and just smacking something, just like get it out of your system through your body. It helps, right? Or go run or go walking or go connect to nature and just get it out physically. And when we learn to just get that out, it calms our entire nervous system. So I invite you today, first of all, if you are wanting to check out, because there's a lot of people in that state right now, please, I beg you, call for help. I posted in Facebook, I posted the number for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. If you are at that state, I'm begging you, ask for help, because we love you and we need you. All of us need you. And you may not believe that right now, but you are here for a reason. And so please, please, please call someone and ask for help, and don't give up. You may not get the help immediately the way you want to, but please, there is always a better day coming. Trust me. And you're hearing this from someone who wanted to check out so badly some years ago. I was researching ways of doing it. So, but that's another story for another day. I've told that before. There's no need to go back into it. But believe me, you're hearing it from someone who has been there, who has experienced that. So please. And if you're just having a bad day, or if you're just ready, excuse me, to let go of patterns that no longer serve you, to begin receiving and living a life of ease and joy, to be able to get yourself back in the flow of things, where things just show up like as if by magic, right? Or you ask a question and the answer comes to you immediately through one way or another. That has been happening to me this entire week after I went into a really, really bad period. I had 3 days of so much sadness, but I allowed myself. I gave myself permission to feel it instead of fighting it or trying to show up and smile and be perfect and not say, I'm sad. I was like, yeah, I'm really sad. I haven't been this sad in years. And the moment I admitted it to myself, the healing process began. So here we go. Please place your feet flat on the ground, palms facing up in a receiving position. Remember, imagine with me that you're holding onto your garbage bags. Just go like this and let them go. Just do that with your hands. Let them go. Then place your palms facing up on your thighs in a receiving position, spine straight. Do 3 to 6 or 9 cleansing breaths. You'll start doing them and they'll feel so good you won't want to stop. So inhale, allow your stomach to get full completely, and then hold for 1 or 2 counts, whatever feels natural and organic, and then let it all go. Do it again. And hold and let it go. And one more time. If you want to keep doing it, keep doing it. And when you're done, connect to your heart center. Close your eyes and just imagine you're connecting to your heart. My grandson this morning saw me doing my post with a heart, and he was like, bum, 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 bum. That's the sound of the heart. And he showed me there was a heart he has a set of stickers on his wall with the alphabet, and the H was a red heart. And he looked at the red heart in the post and he was like, look, yeah, it's the same one. I'm like, oh my God, yes, exactly the same one. So boom, 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 boom. Your source of life, your source of unlimited love. There we go. When you're ready, go ahead and wiggle your toes. Do a little stretch. Shake it out. Feel yourself coming right back into your body. Wonderful. I hope that helped you calm your nervous system down. Find a moment of solace. You can come back to this sound healing over and over, and it'll go deeper each time if you feel like you're losing your mind. It could be a really good thing because we just go out of our minds. We literally stop thinking and start feeling. And if you are able to find that peaceful state in your body, your mind will follow suit. It'll calm down because your body is calm and it's indicating to it that it can relax. Wonderful. All right, my dears, if you are wanting to go deeper into this and learning how to quickly find your center, how to reach your eye of your hurricane, right? The eye that we all hold inside of us to strengthen our connection and our two-way communication with our God self. I am starting my program again, Coming Home to You, which is much more than a meditation program based on its foundation is meditation, but we explore different tools. We have accelerated learning tools that you can apply instantaneously and have a result. Because I'm all about results, because it can feel all nice and wonderful, but coming back into real life, then if nothing changes, then for me, it just makes no sense, right? It's like you've just wasted some time, or you took some time out of the game, went to regenerate yourself. But when you come back, if you don't have tools to really create a different reality after you had to, after you went away, you left and you come back with nothing, then So every time we've gone through this iteration of Coming Home to You, we get, it's incredible, the amount of amazing change, the transformations that I see happen in front of me in the moment. People come in, and I'm gonna start taking this course. I think this time around, I will be taking before and after pictures, because you can literally see the faces of people changing, including my own, when we go through these processes, and they are so amazing. And I cannot wait to share them with you. If you are interested, send me a DM and I'll give you all the information. I'll send you to the landing page where you can get more information about it. And should you decide to join us, nothing would make me happier. All my courses come with a money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. If within a week you decide that, no, this is not for me, you'll just get your money back. I'm not going to say, oh, too bad. If you don't like it, if you don't resonate, some of us have some things that work for us, some of us don't. So that won't be a problem. So that takes that out of the equation. You can always come and try it and see if you like it. And then if you do, which 99.9% of the people do, you can just stay and have an incredible journey with us. I cannot wait to get started. And I love you all very, very, very much. If you feel like you need help and you don't know who to reach out to, and you have no one to reach out to, send me a direct message. I'll be happy to talk to you and see if there's any way I can help or support you in this, momentary, in this momentary space that is happening for you right now that you may not see the way out of. Like I said, I've been there, and I will do everything in my power to help you out. Anyway, I love you very, very much, and I will see you next week.